Okay. Can you see the link? Hello, I joined the link. Yes, we're gonna work with this one. So I bring my apologies for the this inconvenience, but totally normal during what is it? Mercury retrogrades. Okay, I need to delete this one. Private. See your hearts like this. Like the video itself. Oh, let's see. Wow, wait a minute. Is there? It's a, okay. Wait, I need to change. Da-da-da. How do I change? I need to change the thumbnail because it says different thing. Let me see. For now, please include your time zones. Where are you watching this from? Where are you at? And what time is it in your place? Okay, where is this? Hmm. From Toronto. Okay, so it's Saturday. I hope you have some time today so that we can dive deeper into. Okay, it looks like I can't work with MacBook, so let me try to fix it from my Samsung. Uh, Hi. Okay, changing the thumbnail because it looks different. Okay, so did you join the other days for the webinar, or it's your first day? I joined all 3 days. Catalina. Where are you watching from? I forgot. Excuse me if I don't remember names. I don't remember. Like, I have really bad memory. So it would be great if you could, like, remind. So let's wait for like 2-3 minutes for others to join. But please let me know in comments your experience from last 2 days. What can you say? What feedback? What questions do you have? Any insights that you learned? Mhm. My money in Sagittarius made sense to me. Need to keep my savings in someone else's account, and I'm fire, so makes sense. Also, I always spend money fast. Feel okay in my spending now. Good then. So today's webinar is a little bit advanced, so I need you to let me know what's your level in astrology. Can you understand your houses and planets? Do you understand those things? So let me know in comments. That's going to be super important today. Oh, I know I'm Cancer Leo. I don't know my birth time. That's amazing. Because, hello. So today we will need you to know your chart a little bit, especially your houses and degrees. So I'm going to give you a little bit of tutorial today. So make sure that you are following up, because just knowing your sun sign, moon sign is not going to help you today. As I mentioned in emails, it's a little bit advanced. So today is a bit advanced, and I made it a little bit accessible, but it will still need you to know the basics of astrology. Like if you studied astrology, like module 1 of birth chart is going to be important. So let me show you what we can do today. So a little tutorial for just to show you what we will have to focus on. I need you to go to AstroSig, obviously. So let's go to AstroSig, and I'm going to share to follow step by step because it's going to be very important. So, and I won't do much of presentation, like I don't have too much slides for today, so it's going to be a lot of practice. So let's go to AstroSig. I need you to look at birth chart, or you can see it here too. So let's click. Ooh, and we're going to start practicing. So whose ever chart this is, it's I checked this chart 1st of January. Interesting and complicated chart. So I'm gonna go and use my chart because it's way easy. Or if someone wants me to practice on their charts, whoever's first, you can let me know. Is it still black? Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna go live on TikTok as well. All right, so then because it's taking too long, I don't know why, I'm gonna go then with my chart. So let's go. You will need to open your chart, do the same. We will really need to open a chart and we will really need to open eyes and look at everything. So let's go. Where? Let's see. Gonna go a little bit down. So open your charts. So this is my chart. Okay, so do you have your charts open? This is what I want you to do today. Today we are focusing on your how you can build your own 1 year ahead reading, or how you can create your yearly forecasts or monthly forecasts, but we're going to focus on yearly because we're going to focus on bigger planets, the ones that are slower. So we will need to make sure that we know the location of our houses. And for that, we can look at the chart and know by like with our eyes where are the houses. So we have 12 houses, right? La 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 la. Or we can zoom in right here. Houses. We are working with Placidus always, Placidus system. And these are the houses, house borders that we're going to look at. So ascendant, if you see AC, it's going to be your first house and it's going to end at 19 degrees. For example, that this is mine. So these degrees are going to be very important. I want you to write them down somewhere, or just know them by heart. Or if you can look at your chart and you already know what's going on, that's going to be great. Okay? Let me know if you're following and write down something like maybe just send a plus or a yes, or maybe a heart. That's going to be better. So anything so that I know you are following up. Okay. Where was I? So we will we're getting into the advanced level of astrology, where we will focus on what a year can look like for us. And for that, we're going to work with one, two, three, four, five planets. So five planets we're going to focus on are going to be Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So I want you to click at transit chart right here. If you click at transits, you're going to see something like this. And I want you to focus on very specific things. So we are focusing on five planets to kind of year or our, like, let's say 2026, how we're gonna do the forecast for 2026. So this is the same thing you could do like in end of December, you can do in this December for next year, or you can do it now to track, like, what is it, from February to February. But we will assume that we're in December, and we're going to think that we're making a reading for from January of 2026 until the end. Okay. Okay, didn't open thing. Wait. So can you see this? Okay. So this is probably way too much, but we're going to, these are Saturn and Neptune. We're focusing on Uranus right here, and we're focusing on Jupiter, and I forgot about Pluto right here. Okay, so see, where do you have an Aquarius? Where do you have Aries? Where do you have this border, like end of Taurus and Gemini? And I want you to see where is Cancer and Leo in your, write it down. Hello, bonsoir, bon nuit. How are you doing? Okay, so did you take notes about your houses? But okay, we're gonna go one by one into every single planet right now. For today, where do you have Aries in your chart? Where do you have an Aquarius in your chart? Where do you have a and Gemini in your chart? Where do you have Cancer and Leo in your charts? And where is Aquarius in your chart? I need you to look at those and write down in comments what houses they occupy, or just remember it in your head. Hello. Is there any connection issue? Am I glitching? Hello. Hi, we are doing a yearly forecast. So how can you do your own yearly forecast with astrology? So you can join either here or you can join on YouTube where I have presentations. So let me try to, what is it? We're on. So we are live. What happened? We're live on YouTube and we're live here, but on YouTube I have presentations. What's going on? Who's here? Hello. Can someone let me know if you can hear me or see me? Hello. Lina, come to YouTube. What is happening? You can hear me? Everything is fine? Okay. Okay, but okay, if everything is fine, that's great because YouTube is showing me that there is nobody watching. So I don't know. Apparently, there is a glitch. So let's go. We're gonna start one by one, but I want you to write down where in which houses you have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and an Aquarius. These houses are going to be important in 2026. So we're looking at 2026 for now. So you need to know the location of these houses for now. And we're diving deep into every single planet right now. So let's kick it in. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen? I need you to find Aries, end of Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius. And write them down which houses they are at. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go one by one through each planet, and I'm going to explain what you can do with it, with this information. Okay. First planet we're going to go over is going to be Pluto. So this year, Pluto is going to be in Aquarius from 3 degrees to 6 degrees. So it's going to go back and forth. It's going to go all the way to the 6 degrees and then going to go back to 3 degrees. And then until the end of 2026, it's going to be in 6 degrees of Aquarius. What does it mean? This is the planet that is very influential in anyone's life. Well, we're working with Western astrology, and we're using Placidus house system. So make sure that you're checking Placidus. Okay. Now let me see. Okay, so right now we need to find in your charts where is Aquarius 3 to 6 degrees. In what house you have the border between from 3 to 6 degrees of Aquarius. That's where Pluto is going to be for the whole year. Okay, now what is more important, I need you to check if you have any planets in your own natal chart. If you have any planets 3 to 6 degrees, you can also add extra 1 to 1.5 degrees for Pluto specifically. You can add extra 1.5. So you can look at I think 2.5 degrees of Aquarius to 6.5 or 7 degrees. So check where are these degrees in your chart, what house they occupy. Then I want you to look if you have any planets in the signs that you're seeing on screen. Do you have any planets in from 3 to 6 degrees, or as I said, from 2 to 7 degrees of Gemini, Libra, Aries, and Sagittarius. If you have any planets from this range of degrees that I mentioned, you're going to receive harmonious and supportive aspects. Basically, you're going to receive support and uplift from Pluto in this year. So take that note. Now, if you have planets from 2 to 7 degrees in Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo, you might have some work to do this year, some obstacles to get over with, and some things to work on. Some those planets are going to go through a lot of transformation this year. Now, if you have any planets from 2 to 7 degrees of an Aquarius, like I have, it really depends if that specific planet is in positive and harmonious aspects in your chart or not. That's the how it's going to play out is going to depend on its natal position. How does it do natally in your chart? Is it positive? Is it tense? Is it like empty? So depending on that, that's going to be important as well. So write those down, and we will need to now kind of understand, okay, no planets, good. Then we're just checking the degrees. The thing with slower planets that I teach in my Astro Academies, Jalisa should know this. With slower planets, if they do not touch any specific point in your chart, so if they do not cross a house, or if they do not touch any planet, you won't feel them as much. Yes. So if you have some kind of planet, or if you have some kind of cusp in this specific degrees, you're going to feel immediately the effects of this planet. The slow planets like Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Jupiter. So let's see. If you are having harmonious aspects with these planets, it is indeed glitchy. I'm not sure if it's the laptop is glitching or it's me. Hi, Marie! Pero feliz! Let me try to log in from my computer. Marie, click, I don't know how it works, but you should click like, and then TikTok will promote me somehow. I don't know how, but it's like you do something and then the hearts fly, and then I get a lot of likes. Let me try to log in from my laptop, because I think something happened to go live. Let me see. Something is happening with my life on YouTube, so I will have to see if I can log in from my computer. So let me try. Hello. Is it better now? Am I not glitching? Is it better? What? Mari, you can check from so far, yes. Okay, because I'm using different laptops. So now I have to share this link here. I need to open it from here. Okay, uno momento. So far, what I said, did you do it? I can send a like. I can see the option. Yeah, I have no clue how to do that either. So, but anyways, I'm gonna be on YouTube. You can join me here. Let's see if I can share my screen. All of the sudden, everything is glitching. What happened? This is way worse than before. Sounds better so far. Okay, let's go. Let me share my screen. The first gift they've ever sent. Oh, thank you. Okay. So, where we were. I forgot where we were, but let's see. Perfect. All right, so let's go. Let me know in comments if you have any planets or if you have any points or important cusps in 2 to 7 degrees of Aquarius. We need it right now. I need you to let me know in comments. I don't want to be glitching here. So let me know in comments if you have anything. Write it down. Just write it down, please. If I don't see it, I'm not gonna talk about it because there are 10 planets and I cannot sit and talk about all of them. Mari, I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know what to do because on TikTok I cannot share my presentation. Still glitching? No, I don't like it. Are you sure we're glitching? Okay. So please write down if you have any planets from 2 to 7 degrees of Aquarius. Um, no. Yeah, if you have. So first, I need you to check where is 2 to 7 degrees of Aquarius in your chart. What house is it in? So please write it down. So for example, for me, it's sixth house of serving people and helping and basically working and fixing my routine. So write it down like um, 2 to 7 degrees of Aquarius. For me, it's sixth house. So write it down like that. Then I will need you to check if you have any planets in Gemini, Libra, Aries from 3 to 6 degrees. So if you don't have, you can write nada, zero. If you have 3 to 6 degrees Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, you write down what planet exactly you have. So just write it and send it. Or if it's nothing, then just zero. If you have any planets from 3 to 6 degrees in Aquarius, write it down. So for me, yes, I have 4 degrees, 4 degrees of Venus in Aquarius. Okay, so we're gonna remember all of these points. We're gonna remember the house, we're gonna remember the planets. Correct. Correct. Right now, I don't want you to look at the transiting planets. We're diving deep into every planet one by one. So I just need you to check what you have inside of your own natal chart. Can you write the whole list as examples so we can do it ourselves? What do you mean? It's literally written. And I am sending mine. So let me explain again. We need to check Aquarius in your chart. So where do you have 3 to 6 degrees Aquarius? Let me then do Astrosic and open my chart. Is there anyone who is having hard time with this? Please let me know. So open your chart. Open your charts and I'm gonna do a tutorial then. Yes, it means it's going to be a very long day. So let me show. Jupiter, 3-degree Gemini, 10th house, Mercury, degree, da, da, da. Okay, good. Let me show you my chart as an example. So today, hopefully, we can go over 5 transiting planets that will determine how your year is going to look like. And we're going to go from the furthest to the closest. So the furthest planet is Pluto. And right now, Pluto is, in this year, it's going to be from 3 degrees to 6 degrees. It's this range of Pluto, of Aquarius, we're going to experience this year. So I want you, can you see my screen? That's me at the moment. Okay. Is it working now? Okay. So I need you to find this range right here of Aquarius in your chart. For me, as you can see, Aquarius is in the sixth house of work, routine, serving other people, pets. And I need you to find this specific range, which is from 3 degrees, 1, 2, 3, from 3 to 6. This range is where Pluto is going to go back and forth in 2026, right here. So again, for me, that's sixth house. For someone, that could be the border of the fifth and sixth, which means this year they're going to experience the shift dramatically. Or if it's somewhere here, they're going to feel the shift from 6 to 7 dramatically. Since for me, it's already in a house of health, it's already there. I felt the shift earlier, like in 2020, in 2024, when it moved this border. But right now, it's gonna cross my planet and I'm gonna feel it. That's why we're checking. If you have any other planets in this range, Aries, in Gemini, in Leo, in Libra, in Scorpio, in Sagittarius. So that's why I was showing. Okay. I hope it's clear. Let me show what planets, what signs we need to look at. Hello. Can you see me? Am I back? Okay. Okay, perfect. Did you catch me making the notes about how you can do it too? This part? Okay. So now, if you already took notes, can't find my charger. I finally get to Pluto in Aquarius. I've been waiting. Okay. Okay, so now that you know your position of Aquarius, you know what planets you have. I just didn't see if somebody has planets in Gemini, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, 3 to 6 degrees. So, if you have planets in Gemini, Libra, Aries, and Sagittarius, you're going to be one of the most lucky ones this year. So, specifically, 3 to 6 degrees planets. So, if you have 3 to 6 degrees planets in Gemini, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius, you're going to receive the transformations, empowerment, rebirth, and psychological strength or financial, depending on what planets you have, depending on what houses those planets are in, those houses are going to receive the transformation. So, whatever planet you had in the signs that I mentioned, if they are in 3 to 6 degrees of those signs, you're going to receive transformations in the houses they are at and in the houses that those planets rule. So, for example, my Venus rules my second house of my stability income, and it rules my 10th house of career and work. So, this year, when Pluto goes over that planet, those two houses of mine are going to get activated and have transformation. So, Jupiter 7 degrees, right? So, if your planet is like 7 degrees, you're going to experience it actually next year in 2027. Right now, Pluto is 4 degrees Aquarius. So, if you have anything 4 degrees, you're already experiencing the change. So, now 3 to 6 degrees of the planets that we just discussed, the houses they are in and the houses that they rule, those houses are going to become the power center of reinvention this whole year. There's going to be complete shift, complete rebirth, complete transformation and change. So, knowing those houses, knowing those planets, you must strategically plan long-term transformations. You can initiate something that will reshape your life for years if you take actions this year with those specific degrees that we discussed. The natal planet being aspected activates the house of rules. This is where hidden power awakens. So I want you to now look what those planets are and look what those planets, in which houses they are and which houses they rule. That's going to tell you what fields of your life are going to go through transformation this year. Let me know if you need me to include a cheat sheet about these planets, the ruling planets and the ruling houses. Yes. Wait, what? No, Jupiter, from my practice, I work with. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius. That's how I work. I don't work with Jupiter ruling Pisces. For me, Neptune rules Pisces. So Jupiter 3 degrees Gemini, so you're receiving beautiful trine in 10th house. So 10th house is getting activated, right? So your 10th house is getting activated. So something to do with your reputation, your career, marriage, and etc. Then you look, where is this Jupiter? Where's Sagittarius? And that's the house that is also getting activated. Look for 3-4 degrees. Correct. No, look for 3 to 6 degrees. I have one Pluto in eighth house. You already experienced Pluto in eighth house already, probably last year. So that's already gone. What? But it's in Libra Scorpio? What? Okay. You need to scroll a little bit back and check what's happening, because I said we need to check at specific zodiac signs. So this period is excellent for taking control, reclaiming authority, deep healing, building influence in those specific houses of yours and what those planets represent. Okay. Let me know if anyone is having hard time. If you're having hard time, it means you need, this is as I said, advanced level. It's a little bit advanced. That's why you need to know the basics to do this one. And I cannot explain the meaning of houses. I cannot explain the ruler of every single planet and zodiac sign, because it will take like hours. So we're gonna move forward. Now, if you have Pluto aspecting your planets in tense aspects, which are oppositions and square, and that's going to be Leo and Scorpio. So if you have 3 to 6 degrees of Leo and Scorpio, you will have some kind of, how to say, tense period in those specific houses, depending on what planet it is. Those are going to be your points of challenges in this year. So because Pluto is the planet of transformation and the planet of bringing out the truth and all the secrets that are being hidden, you're also going to get like the lies can get exposed, which can be hard for you to hear, for example. So Pluto can expose power struggles. It can show you like someone is abusing you, so it's time to leave, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's husband, wife, and etc. It exposes where you have obsessions or where someone else has obsessions over you, depending on the planet. Where there is a control issue from you or to you, where you have hidden fears. What you can do this year, you can release what is decaying. So you will discover and check where you have struggles, power struggles, obsessions, control issues, and fears, and you will start to work on those. You will need to face psychological patterns and work on them, and you will need to allow endings. So if someone wants to leave from your life, let it go. Just let it go. What you don't want to do this year, if you have tense aspects from Pluto, you don't want to manipulate, you don't want to force outcomes, you don't want to resist a necessary change. So if the change is coming, you have to accept it. Pluto transits are uncomfortable, but they are transformative. Resistance increases crises. So if Pluto is crossing a specific if Pluto is crossing a specific house for you during this year, so where you have, let's say someone said that Pluto is going to cross 6 to 7 degrees, you're going to experience the big change and shift in that house. So going from 6 to 7, you're going to immediately notice the changes in your partnerships. So for example, for me, when Pluto crossed from fifth house to the sixth house, literally on the day, and it's recorded on YouTube. I have a video. I was talking about Pluto, and that exact moment, Pluto was crossing my sixth house. It was entering my sixth house, and since then, since it entered my sixth house, without touching any other points, just the cusp, I started having like chronic cold like nonstop. But now I worked it out and it's, thanks God, over. That's how fast it works when it crosses something specific. Okay, are we ready to move on to another planet? Let me know. Or do you want me to include a cheat sheet? Just let me know. I have Pluto at 4 degrees in Aquarius. Does that mean anything? You need to know what house it is in, because 4 degrees, it's happening right now. So you need to see where, but it's generational, which means like people who are born in the same year for you, almost like this few months, people who are born in within the few months of your year of birth, you all have it. So it's something generational, so it can be influenced by, by governments or by something. So for you, fourth house, it's transformations and complete death and rebirth of the fourth house topics, which are family, your place of birth. So it's happening right now. Yes, transiting Pluto is conjunct my natal Uranus in Aquarius. Now you need to check what house is that Aquarius, because Uranus rules Aquarius, and that's the house where the change is happening. Eight degrees, you're gonna experience the Pluto aspects next year, not in 2026. So you can forget about it for now. Okay, let me. Please let me know if what we're doing right now makes sense. Because we're gonna move forward with other planets. So like this. Okay. So it's very important. We're not only looking at a sign or at a planet, we're looking at a cusp, if the cusp is being touched. We're looking at a planet, and we're looking at the house that planet is in and the house that it rules. So you have one, two, three, four events happening at the same time. So four fields of your life being activated just by one single little planet, which is even smaller than the moon. You're getting activation of all of these four fields of your life just by one planet. And I'm making cheat sheets now for you to see. Okay. I have some cheat sheets for you. One cheat sheet you already had, so I need you to screenshot perhaps. Just give me 2 seconds. We are working on cheat sheets for you. Modern color. Delete this one. Delete. Okay. I will share the cheat sheets, so I will need you to either screenshot them or do something, because I don't think I will be able to go back and forth. I mean, I can do that, but okay, let me share this beautiful cheat sheet. Okay, like this. We have, let me see. Planets in R, it means they are retrograde. So they're going backwards, and it's going to affect people differently, but mostly it brings delays. Like if it's in your natal chart, it's something that you have to work on in your life. But if it's transiting, it's delays in that house. So I have 2 lists of cheat sheets. This one, please screenshot it, because how do I remove my face from here? Yeah. So let's look at the cheat sheet. You will have to take a screenshot right now or just immediately take notes. So remember, I told you what zodiac signs we're looking at and what planets you have in those zodiac signs. So if you have, okay, let's say if you have Pluto touching your Mars, Mars also rules Aries in your chart. So you need to find what house Aries is at. Okay. Did you take a screenshot? Okay. Thank you for the hearts. Let's move on. Should we move on, or should I again one more time? Let's do it one more time. So, if you have any planets in Gemini, in Libra, in Aries, in Sagittarius, 3 to 6 degrees, you are receiving blessings, good transformations from Pluto this year. If you have planets in Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, 3 to 6 degrees, you're going to have tense transformations. But whatever it is, they're going to bring transformation in your life, including Aquarius, 3 to 6 degrees. So when you check the planet that is in these zodiac signs, I need you to check what house that planet rules. So let's say if Pluto is touching Venus, or let's say if Pluto is touching Venus, like for me, Venus rules Taurus and Venus rules Libra. Then you look what houses Libra and Taurus are. So those 2 houses are also getting activated. apart from the place where this planet is already located. Does it make sense? That's why you need to know your birth chart to do this kind of advanced readings. Now, depending on what planet Pluto touches, these planets, the descriptions you can see here, these topics in your life are going to get transformation and big change. So let's say if Pluto is aspecting your sun, your identity, your visibility, your leadership, your father figure, your recognition, your vitality will change, either positive or negative. If it's, for example, like me, if it's Venus, then love, dating, marriage themes, money, income, beauty, social events change. But because for me, Venus rules second house and 10th house, for me, that's going to be hopefully money, income, because obviously there is no love or dating happening from sixth house. Or if I find someone, then my 10th house is getting activated, which is my status, like to get married and etc. But for that, we also need to look other things. All right. So let's move on to the next planet. Is it okay if we move on to the next planet? Okay, let's go. So the houses that are going to get activated, you have the description here. So take a screenshot here as well. This is from my students' slides. So you can take a screenshot here as well. How do I, should I remove my face somehow? Wait, let me try to take a screenshot of this side and then I will zoom for this side somehow like this. Okay. Right this way. So you can take a screenshot like this. Let me see. Okay. You can take a screenshot like this. Okay? All right, the next planet we're going to look at is going to be Neptune. And Neptune already entered Aries on 26th of January. So we're actually not missing much because it just entered. It's very slow planet. So from 26th of January, when it entered Aries, it's still in 0 degrees. So it's still, right now, it's 21st of February. It's still 0 44 degrees in Aries. But the whole year, it's going to go from 0 to 5 degrees, which means if you have any planets in these signs and these signs and this sign, you are receiving aspects from Neptune. So these topics are getting activated for you. Now, apart from that, I need you to also look at where is Aries in your chart, what house it is at. So for me, it's in the 8th house. But if someone has their Aries from 0 to 5 degrees on the cusp of a house, you're going to experience that shift dramatically and way stronger compared to other people. So when that happened for me, when it just crossed the cusp of my 8th house, it it literally killed my father. So because from the 8th house of death, it crossed that cusp and then it squared my Jupiter and my Sun. So Jupiter in my life represents my father because he is very Jupiterian, and Sun is father also in as. Okay, I don't go to this kind of dark topics in astrology, but I'm just bringing an example how like it affects immediately the day that it crossed my cusp. For me was 8th house, so death. Immediately it happened. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you have a cusp that Neptune crosses, so Aries from 0 to 5 degree, if you have it in some kind of cusp of any house, you're going to feel it immediately, that period. That specific degrees, you can also check in which month, in which day it's going to cross. So right now it's 0 44 degrees. Now, if you have planets in Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Aquarius from 1 to 5, you're going to experience it in harmonious and positive ways. Okay? So, for example, we already know the position of our planets, and we can already tell that from the house where Neptune is at, which is Aries house, it's gonna harmoniously aspect the planets that are in these zodiac signs, which are in specific houses. So, two houses are getting activated already. That's one. Two, the planet that it's connecting with, that planet, what house it rules, that extra house is also getting activated. Same thing with Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. But these activations are going to be a little bit tense. So for me, that was like Capricorn. So when that happened, I told you what happened. So, because I have planets from last degree of Sagittarius and early degrees of Capricorn. So for me, Capricorn here, I received a tense aspects. And my sister is Cancer, so she also received the same at the same time that happened. Okay? Now, if it's in Aries, again, it really depends on what's the relationship of that planet in your Aries. If that planet is tensely aspected itself in your natal chart, then it's going to activate the tense aspects in your life. If it's nicely aspected in your chart, then it's going to activate things harmoniously. Does it make sense? Let me know if you have any planets in these zodiac signs. And let me know, where is Aries in your chart? What house is it at? Mars, ninth house, 3 degrees. But what sign? Second house, Aries. So second house is money. Pluto, second house, and Uranus, fourth house for me. Okay, if you don't have, that's perfect. Then you can just look at the house where Aries is at. So Mars in Aries, 3 degrees, and it's in the ninth house. So both Neptune and Saturn are going to activate your Mars in the ninth house. The ninth house is all about what? It's all about education. It's all about traveling, going to other countries, exploring, expanding horizons, and etc. Mars in Aries, eighth house, 1 degree. So you are going to experience the changes already from this month, like February, March. In March, you're already having a lot of changes happening for you. Mercury in Aquarius, you need to know what house it is at, what degree, and Mercury, what other houses it rules. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So those two houses are also getting activated. So, what kind of activation happens with Neptune when it's in harmonious aspects? So, Neptune in general, it dissolves boundaries and awakens vision. So, it makes things a little bit blurry, a little bit pinkish, right? So, the moment it moved away from my seventh house, I realized that I'm like, I don't think I have to fall in love with everyone that I like and make stories with them in my head. So, like, it removed immediately that thing. So I no longer have this weird obsession over a specific person. So when it's harmonious, the house involved becomes an area of spiritual inspiration and creativity. You should dream, visualize, and initiate creative spiritual pursuits. So depending on what house it is at, ninth house, so you can sit down and visualize, and make dreams about what countries you would want to visit, what universities you would want to study, what things you would want to explore. For me, it's in the eighth house, so I can just sit down and dream about how I can become a billionaire, how I can get a loan to get like to build a house and etc. I can sit down and visualize and manifest. It's going to be good. The natal planet that rules a house that now becomes more intuitive and subtle. So that planet that it activates is the house that's also getting activated. This period, that specific house is excellent for art, healing, compassion, spiritual growth, and inspired leadership. So those houses you can activate with these kind of topics. Now, if the aspects are tense, which, for example, for me, I have Capricorn all the way from first degrees all the way to 29 degrees of Capricorn. So I'm gonna receive the squares from Neptune and Saturn for next decade, 14, 15, 16 years, whatever, how long it is there. So when Neptune squares any planets or opposes any planets, so Libra, Capricorn, these planets that are responsible for specific houses, that are in specific houses, those houses are going to get activated, but in what way? The tension that creates confusion, illusion, deception, and escapism. So right now I am so obsessed over buying some kind of property that is in some kind of under the rocks somewhere in the middle of the mountains, because I think it's cheap and nobody's buying it and I'm the only person who thinks that I should buy it. So that's how I'm like having illusion here, that I think I have to do it because why? The sun and the Jupiter that it's squaring for me are on the cusp of my fourth house, which is about houses, properties, and families. And last time they moved together and crossed last year, that fourth house also activated, so my father died. That's how it worked for me. It can be different for you. So you need to check where those aspects are happening. What you can do, you can double check facts. Like I've been double checking this house for literally 1 year now. You can protect boundaries. You can stay grounded, which is a little bit hard for me. What you should not do, you should not blindly trust whatever house it's activating. You should not escape reality in the specific house it's activating. And you should not make unclear commitments. Yeah. Again, the specific house it's activating. My Aries, Libra, and Cancer placements start at 7 degrees. So you're going to receive illusions. You're going to receive Neptune topics from next year, but Saturn is going to work with them actually this year. But Saturn is a little bit different. And I think we're going to move with Saturn a little bit later. Okay. Do you have questions about Neptune? You got the flow, right? We already understand how we are working. We're checking the house where Aries is at, then we're checking what planets this Neptune is touching from 1 to 5 degrees, 0 to 5 degrees of Aries. So what planets it's activating and where those planets are, that house is on, and then the houses or a house that that planet rules. So 3, 4 houses are getting activated for some specific people. Okay, let's move on with Uranus. Now, this one is a little bit too much because we have Uranus changing signs as well. Right now, Uranus, let me check what degree it is in. Okay. At the moment, Uranus is 27 degrees in Taurus. So, who is going to receive the changes that Uranus is bringing? So, Uranus is all about rapid, sudden changes in your life and realizations. It's very sudden. So, if you have any points in your chart from 28 degrees, okay, or 27 degrees of Taurus, and all the way to 6 degrees of Gemini, if you have any points in your chart and the houses, those points, those houses are getting activated for you right now from this year. So from 27 to 30 degrees Taurus, that's going to be until April. And then from April, Gemini, 0 to 6 degrees until the end of the year. So if you have planets in last degrees, super last degrees of Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer and Pisces, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus, you are already experiencing changes right now until 26th of April. So you are already going through a lot of changes until 26th of April. Sudden changes, realizations. If you have planets from 0 to 6 degrees of Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini, you will start experiencing changes from the end of April until the end of the year. So, what kind of changes we're talking about? The changes, again, which are connected to the planet, what that planet represents, where that planet is, what house. So, that house is getting activated, the changes coming to that specific house, and what house that planet rules. So, where is Uranus? That house is getting activated. So, Taurus and Gemini houses are getting activated for you. The planet that is connected to this Uranus, the house of that planet that it's in, and what houses this planet rules. So, like 3-4 places in your life are getting activated, and there is some kind of change happening. What kind of changes? So, if you have harmonious aspects with Uranus, and harmonious are going to be these signs right here: Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo. So if you have planets in these zodiac signs in these specific degrees, you are receiving harmonious aspects from Uranus, which brings awakening, innovation, and sudden changes. When it's harmonious, the house involved, I already explained all of this. You must initiate new methods and modernize those specific houses in your chart. So this is excellent time for incorporating technology, reinventing the house, relocating, doing entrepreneurship, and new thinking patterns. So for me, let me kind of display my chart so that I can make sense of it. So this is how Uranus look like, right? So Uranus, actually, I think my time of birth is a little bit wrong, but if I change it, so Uranus crossed my MC and crossed my MC right here. The moment it crossed my MC, which was like recently, so first we're checking where it is, right? So for me, it's in the 10th house right now. But the moment it crossed my MC, I realized that I no longer want to pursue my profession for my bachelor's and my master's, which is like cosmetics industry. It was so out of nowhere and so fast. It was like, I don't want to do it anymore. That's it. I'm going to focus fully on what I'm going to focus on I'm gonna focus on my Aquarius. And Aquarius is what? Is astrology. So for me, that's where like the activation began. I decided to let go of my Taurus topics, which are beauty and etc., and completely dive into Aquarius topics, which are astrology. And because it's trining Uranus, so for me, and Uranus rules my Aquarius, which is in the sixth house of work. So that was like sudden, fast change, immediate. And now it's approaching my Uranus here. So it's gonna trine my Uranus specifically in exact degrees by April. And then later on, it's going to also activate my Venus as well, which is the ruler of the 10th house and the second house. So from here, you can already see where you're getting activation. So for me, it's sixth house, it's Aquarius topics are getting activated. And again, it's going to activate my 10th house, 11th house, and second house. Does it make sense? So mine are all empty. There is no way because look at how many, let me show you how many zodiac signs it's going to touch this year. There is no way. It's going to touch one all of these zodiac signs this year. So how come you don't have something in Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Gemini? Nothing? You have nothing? Okay, different degrees, which means a bit later then. Okay. All right, so should we move on to the next planet? Oh, tense aspects. Forgot about tense ones. So harmonious and tense aspects. So tense aspects are going to create tension in the form of instability, like financial instability, for example, sudden breakups, nervous tension, rebellion, like you're gonna have like OCD or ADHD happening. I think that was happening for me too in the past 3 years. What you can do, you can stay flexible, you can like mentally prepare for changes, and you can innovate consciously. What not to do during this period: burn bridges impulsively, overreact, and resist change. So, with Uranus tensions, they demand adaptability. So, as long as you're mentally prepared, you're already further ahead. You're like ready. Let's move on to my favorite planet, Saturn. So, is there anyone who has Saturn in Aries in their charts? Like, are you going through your Saturn return in upcoming 2 years? Do you have Saturn in Aries? Anyone? But you have Saturn in Aries? So people who have Saturn in Aries, they're gonna experience their Saturn return already immediately from 13th of February, because on 13th of February Saturn entered Aries. So whoever already has Saturn in Aries in their natal chart, they are already experiencing their Saturn return right now, and they're going to experience it until 2028. So this is the only time where it doesn't matter if you have any planets in Aries, as long as if you already have Saturn in Aries, you're going to experience it the whole time, the whole 2.5 years, I think, or like, yeah, until March of 2028. You're going to experience it the whole time. So, whatever house that Aries is in, that house is going to get transformed in terms of it's going to get more mature. You're going to become more mature. You're going to become more disciplined. You're going to become more responsible in that specific field of your life for the whole 2 years. For other people like us, uh, if we have planets in these signs, we're going to for sure experience specific events. And other than that, we're going to have restrictions and limitations and responsibilities and maturities in the specific house where it is in. It's just, it's not going to be as strong as for people who have Saturn in Aries, but we're going to feel, we can call like the past 2 years, I had some kind of limitations in this and that. But if you have planets in Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Aquarius, this year Saturn is going to be in Aries from 0 to 15 degrees. I think right now it's almost 1 degrees. Yes, it's almost 1 degree. So it's 0.52. So it's already there. So people who have Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Aquarius planets in these zodiac signs from 0 to 15 degrees, this year you will experience Saturn maturing these planets, maturing the houses those planets rule, or restricting or limiting. Also, depending on the degree, you can track the specific timeline when exactly that event is going to happen. Now, if you have planets in Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra, you're going to receive the aspects as tense. Yeah, so you will have tense aspects during this period, this year. So the degrees that those planets are in are going to show you the timeline, not only the houses that are going to get mature, but also the specific period. And if you have planets in Aries, depending on how those planets are positioned in your natal chart, are they positive, are they harmonious or tense, they're going to activate those specific topics in your chart as well. Aries moon, Saturn, South Node, Cancer Sun, 6009 house, Saturn in Aries. My chart will be lit up by these tense aspects. I've been tracking it's April for me at exactly, yeah. You will for sure experience the topics of Saturn, but you just need to know what house. So those houses are gonna go through a lot of growth. When I was going through, like before going through Saturn return, every astrologer was talking about how Saturn is bad and etc. But I can tell you it's it's bad in terms of like you will feel bad because when you're going through Saturn return. But when it's going over a specific house or a specific planet, I don't call it bad. I call it, this is something that you were supposed to do. This is something that you already have to become responsible in and mature. So I call it inner elderly grandparent within you that is so wise, that is like trying to teach you where you have to grow, where you have to become more efficient, more critical, more like not make mistakes, so that you kind of, it will make sure that you redo something as much as possible as long as you get the right answer. So it really depends on what house it goes for you. So for me, it was going through my seventh house, and in past 3 years when I had my Saturn return. So in seventh house, I learned that I don't want to do one-on-one consultations because it drains my energy. I don't want to be involved in specific friendships and business partnerships because they're draining me, or I don't want to uh, be in some kind of business partnership where internally I don't want to be committed, but I feel like the other person cannot say no, so I'm just staying. So it helps you to grow. And it's good that it does whatever it does because it's very helpful for you to have those kind of changes. So let's see. Whatever place it goes, if you have harmonious aspects from these signs, if you have planets in these signs, this year is good for you for your career advancement, for formal commitments, for financial planning, for leadership development. So, Saturn rewards patience and consistency. If it's intense aspects, like most of us in this life chart have, it's going to bring delays, it's going to bring pressure, it's going to bring fear, it's going to bring testing periods. Why? So that we can accept responsibility, so that we can work consistently, so that we can strengthen weak structures. And this is the period that we cannot quit prematurely. We cannot avoid accountability. We cannot blame others. Still working on it. So, Saturn tension builds character. So, something I'm working on right now. And your moon is, as far as I remember. So, are we ready to move to the next planet? My favorite planet, without which my life is actually a little bit miserable because it's opposing my stellium. Jupiter. Let's go to Jupiter, and let me take a sip of water. So, Jupiter is my favorite planet, but unfortunately, in the past year and more than 1 year, it's been opposing all of my planets. So, life hasn't been easy because knowing that all of my planets are in Capricorn, I am ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is already going crazy for me. The only planet that was left to give me some hope was Jupiter, and then the Jupiter started like opposing everything in my chart. I'm waiting for it to leave, but then once it leaves Cancer, it's gonna start opposing the rest of my planets because I have stellium. So I want you to know if Saturn is an important planet in your chart, because for me it is very, very important planet. Oh, Saturn. I mean Jupiter. Jupiter is very important planet. For example, in my chart, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, which means it's quite powerful in its own sign. So it kind of rules my life, basically. So you need to also check that. So Jupiter right now, I believe from my memory, it's 15 degrees. It's retrograde. It's retrograde and it's in Cancer, so it's going backwards. And next month, actually, in March, I was preparing a forecast for March, actually. So around 16th or 11th of March, it's going to go direct. It's going to go direct from 15 degrees. So we can change that. So from 15 degrees until 30 degrees, Jupiter is going to be in Cancer until July. So, if you have any planets from 15 to 30 degrees in Scorpio, Pisces, in Taurus and Virgo, until July, you're going to receive the blessings of these planets. It's going to expand the features of these planets and the houses for you until July. If you have Aries, Libra, 15 to 30, or Capricorn, 15 to 30, it's not going to basically, don't think of it, it's gonna bring something. It's just not gonna bring blessings. You're gonna be like, you feel like there is like some kind of wall and you cannot push through it. That's what I feel right now. Now, later, and Cancer, so 1630 degrees Cancers, depending on what kind of planets you have there. If it's your first house, it's amazing. But if you have some planets there, you need to check, are those planets in harmonious or tense aspects? So it's going to activate. So if they're in harmonious aspects, those aspects are getting activated. Now, later in July 1st, Jupiter is going to enter Leo, and it's going to be literally, it's going to go from 0 degrees until 27 degrees by the end of 2026, 27. And then it's gonna go back. And I'm like, oh my god, it almost enters my first house. It just almost entered, and then it just goes back again. So for me, all the happiness hopefully is gonna start next year. But yes, so from 1st of July, you're gonna, people who have planets in Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra are gonna receive so many blessings. People who have planets from 1 to 28, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, 1 to 28, there is going to be, yeah, you won't feel the blessings coming in. And again, depends, Leo, 1 to 28, if it's harmonious or tense, that's going to be activated for you. Yes, lemonades. That sounds good. Now let's see what kind of harmonious topics it's going to activate for you. So wherever Jupiter is in your chart right now, if it's not making tense aspects in your chart, wherever it is, whatever house it is at, Cancer or Leo, those specific houses, I would want you to focus on and get the best out of it, because those houses are gonna get like a lot of opportunities and a lot of blessings. So let's say if it's the 12th house, it's perfect time for you to relocate, to work remotely, or find job that you can do secretively without telling anyone, or you can start some kind of secretive romance. If it's in the 5th house, it's good time for getting pregnant, or working on your business, on your projects, and etc. So depending on what house, I would really focus on that house and get the best out of it, um, because it's literally the planet of blessings. Now, in general, Jupiter brings travel, it brings education, business growth, marriage, confidence. But again, everything depends on the houses it activates, the planets it activates. So you're very lucky if Jupiter is like trining or sextiling any planet in your chart this year. It means those planets and those houses are getting a lot of happiness. Pregnancy is the 5th house. It can also be the 8th house. It can also be the 4th house. So if Jupiter is aspecting with the planets that rule your 4th, 5th, and 8th houses, it's good time for pregnancy planning or trying to become pregnant. Or it's also a good time to start like looking for love if you want to be looking for love. So you look at what planets rule your 5th and 7th houses. So we work on those. Congratulations. So apart from pregnancy, it's about kids, it's about business, it's about hobbies, anything that brings you joy and happiness. So the tense aspects, as I said, tense aspects usually create overconfidence. They create excess, let's say, excess of weight or overpromising. Yeah. What you can do during this time, you can kind of stay realistic or ask somebody else to tell you if you're being realistic or not. You can manage growth. You can avoid exaggeration. Again, you can ask somebody else to tell you if you're exaggerating. Maybe you can ask ChatGPT to be very direct with you and tell you like, are you like exaggerating or not? What not to do during this time? Take reckless risks, overspend, assume luck replaces effort. because there is going to be no luck during the period where Jupiter is aspecting tensely your planets. Jupiter magnifies both strengths and weaknesses. Okay. So, this is how you can track your year ahead. This is how you can look at what you can do with your year, how you can prepare, what houses you can activate, what houses you can focus on, what houses you should put more effort in and more responsibility in, and just learn more. So we discussed 5 planets that literally rule your whole year. And with the karmic nodes, we discussed on the first day what they do. So the North Node, wherever is the North Node in your chart in the transiting year, that's where you have to put your focus on. That's like additional thing that I also do for yearly forecasts. Let me show you. So, apart from those 5 planets we just discussed, one more thing that we can also look at to determine what to focus on in upcoming year or in years preceding, we look at the North Node. So if the North Node is in whatever house, so for me it's in the 7th house, it means I have to focus on partnerships. I have to focus on consultations that I'm trying to avoid actually, because I'm tempted to go towards my first house where South Node is at. So, and this North Node and South Node change houses every 18 months. But as you know, we are working with Placidus. With Placidus, we look at when the North Node is going to transit and cross a specific house. That's where you can determine, okay, in upcoming few months, North Node is going to go to my next house, and I have to focus on, let's say for me, 6th house, on my routine, on my health, on my pets, and etc. So these are 6 things I look at when I do yearly forecasts. And then there's also another forecast technique that we are studying in academy. It's solar readings, solar charts. So that's another technique. This is the best technique because it's so specific. So specific. You can track the dates, the periods, the timelines. So we are done with lectures for today. And please let me know who is here and if you submitted your form so that I can check your questions. Very insightful. Thank you, Jody. I received your email. I think I received many emails, but I didn't have time to reply to emails. I will reply to your email probably tomorrow when I wake up because it's already 1 midnight here. North Node transiting 5th house. It means we're focusing on 5th house topics, which are focusing on your hobbies, focusing on your kids, focusing on the things that make you happy, focusing on building some kind of business, some kind of project, going to concerts instead of working with a team or with other people. Ooh, yeah, that's a right direction to think about. So, is there anyone whose charts I haven't read from other days? And if you submitted a form that we can go over, or if you have any questions, please let me know now. I will open the cheat sheet one more time. So if you didn't take screenshots of the cheat sheet, you can take it now. And again, if you have any questions, you still have time to ask me. If not, then I'm gonna go and sleep. It is my pleasure. I hope you liked it. Stay in touch because soon I think this week I should make March video and other. Bye bye, Jelisa. It is my pleasure. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you in next videos or in Astro Academy. It is my pleasure. Thank you for being here. Oh, yeah. If you want to study, you can obviously join my Astro Academy. We're going to start from Monday. Okay, bye bye. Enjoy your day and your weekends, and I'll see you later.